fuck.
Push
Dude,
it
it's
out
all-
as hard as you can.
It's all good because, like, every time I've done an episode, there's been, like I said, something that happened.
Mhm.
Something happened where it just fucking, like the one we did with Justin Hill, the dogs fucking ran in.
Yeah, man, that's the fun.
And, like, the wife was like,
it's all stuff you learn from.
she forgot what we were doing when she, like, hollered into the garage.
Oh,
She's like,
now
I
it's
don't care,
fucking
dude.
working.
It's real life.
Tis
real life.
Jameson.
What's up, guys? I'm here with Matt, a.k.a. Malko Industries magician. And
magician.
the Jameson Pratt from the episode 7. We are
How's it
chilling
going?
here. We had some technical difficulties, a little slow start. That is okay. Everyone on the East Coast, if you're still awake, you can watch it. If not, or not watch it, listen to it after we're done. I know a couple of you hit me up before the show and was like, what time is this one on?
It's on when it's on.
Tell them, yeah. Tell them we want it to be on. This isn't my job. This is my passion. I'm not going to fucking make it all fucking crazy structured. I have to sit in a room 10 hours a night watching cameras anyways. So I don't want to have to fucking...
It's vice versa now.
Yeah, now you're listening to me on a ear camera. So Matt, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself so they know this is like the most formal thing we have.
So, my name is Matt. I guess I enjoy working with metal and whatnot, so I decided to start my own fabrication business. So I've just been scraping along the gutters to try to get that going and
Fuck yeah.
selling all my nice stuff to buy ugly old used stuff so I can get rolling and make some cool things.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's badass. How long have you been, like, interested, working with, intrigued by the industry? Like,
I'm just...
because there is a whole culture around it. It's not just like...
Huge.
It's not just like, oh, so this guy just goes to work, 9 to 5 as a machinist somewhere in some dirty shop in Seattle. No, like, that's not what... This is an industry as much as, it's an art form. And an industry as much as, like, tattooing or, anything like that along those lines. Subculture stuff. So, I mean, I know I cut you off there, but I just want people to understand, like, as we start, it's not like that,
Everything is fabricated. The airplane seat that's upholstered underneath is completely fabricated. Like, absolutely everything to do with anything has fabrication engineering behind it.
Fuck yeah. And it's like...
Just pick your material.
Creativity is, like, the key for it, too. It's like, how can we make this work, solve this problem, and make it functional and efficient? For, like, commercial industry type fabbing, I'm sure. But, like, what you do is like, fucking, it's an art form still. Cause it's still true to you.
It's half art and half function. It's making a product that, I guess, serves the same purpose as another product, but by looking better or functioning, easier to use. It just is. I make it my own, I guess.
Well, we'll go more on what Nick was saying and what exactly do you do? Like, what is your, like, main, I guess, customer right now? What are you doing mostly right now? Like,
so right now
every time we have a phone off, it's usually mine. So I'm thankful.
Wow, I just finally, that was my bad.
So right now I essentially build and manufacture, design, CAD, cut out all my own suspension products to mostly do with air ride and vintage cars and trucks and 4x4 suspension. So I essentially, look what I think the industry needs and make my rendition of it and hope that someone likes it enough to buy it from me so I can...
so it's mostly automotive aspects.
But other signs, and I'll get welding projects and piecework and just kind of anything that someone trusts me with their metal, I guess.
For sure, yeah. And actually, he made a pretty sweet sign for the podcast. You guys could all see. I'm sure Nick will post pictures later, but his work's pretty fucking badass.
It is fucking. So it's still mind blowing. I look at it and I'm like, dude, this is insane. Like,
easy.
It's so fucking cool. It's so good. It's perfect. It embodies the show. It's fucking badass, dude.
It's what you needed. Everyone needs a tabletop sign.
Yeah, and it's just gonna go fucking behind every single. When I have a fucking little studio set up, it's gonna go behind every single, like, the background of every single fucking camera pan or fucking picture, everything.
I think stuff like this is true to any industry, whereas the guy that does landscaping has the ugliest yard, and the
Right.
guy that has plumbing, does plumbing for all day, has got the leakiest pipes, and the guy that makes cool stuff like has no cool stuff.
Exactly. Right? Because you expel all that creativity and shit on fucking
It's just
doing it for everyone else.
Exactly.
Or the industry as a whole.
exactly.
I think that's what makes like true artists, like, you know, tattooers. Like, if I don't know, like for me as a person that has tattoos, like 7 tattoos, and I like tattoos and I like the creativity, I'm just that guy that can't draw worth a damn and
Yeah.
you know, can't. There's no way I could. Oh, you could learn it. Well, yeah, anyone could probably learn it, but I don't have that natural knack to be able to actually set myself apart, right?
Yeah, seeing something that you like give someone else.
Yeah,
and you're
especially
like
permanently.
Yeah, when you're like, okay, I want this and I want it to look like this. I have no idea how you're gonna do that.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
And then you get it back, you know, like tattoo, or you like
Mhm.
say you order something like, you know, some like crazy car part, and you're like, boom, I want this. I have no idea how to do it. That's why I'm giving it to you, and then like getting it back, I mean, like, wow, you did
Yeah.
you used that equipment and straight just
Dude.
sheet metal, and you just handed me that, and it's like. All
It's
right,
a
that's
what?
pretty cool. Yeah, it's like kind of like a magician's little trick.
That's
like,
what I'm saying,
Yeah,
dude.
you're like,
You're a
I don't
magician.
understand that at all.
You're an alchemist.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Mixing.
That's
I like look at, I'll just be cruising along. I'll just kind of see, I guess anything, you know, even as simple as a fence to a, I don't even know, some structure. All I think of is how it was made, and
Dude.
that I could probably replicate it just as good, if not better. That's like my weird way of thinking.
That's what any great person has in their realm. That's what I was getting at, you know, like with tattoos. I keep comparing it to that because it's something that's art going on something permanently. I mean, unless you destroy it like a tattoo or, you know, a creation through fabrication, sheet metal, anything metal related. If you destroy it, yeah, it's gone, but otherwise it's permanent. It's meant to be permanent. And it's art. And it's functional. And it brings people together. It's an industry as a whole. So it's just crazy to me that it's 2018 and everyone knows everything about everything, air quotes, but they, you know, you present something like this and they're like, metal fab, and it's like that stereotype. Their mind just goes right to something that's, oh my dad worked in a shop
Yeah,
for
or
40 years.
everyone thinks that, you know, I'm the kind of just the dumb guy down the street that can pull a trigger on a welding gun. They don't realize the little more thinking and thought and
Yeah.
skill to design something.
Exactly.
That was my parents' first stereotype of I wanted to build cars and trucks, and they just thought it was kind of a grease monkey job that you really didn't have to have any skill for, and
Yeah.
I slowly showed them that you know, you could do something as simple as changing your oil at Jiffy Lube to, you know, designing suspension geometry and stuff that engineers at major car companies get paid
Yeah.
6-7 figures to design.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking cool. And like I said, like you brought like how like even your own parents had their own like vision of their idea of what you wanted to do was something different than what it really was. That's also true for a lot of fucking people that end up great, you know, or with amazing backstories and this amount of success, whatever their version of success is. Like usually it's their parents that didn't believe in them at first and then wanted back in, or maybe not even that extreme. Maybe they were just like, my son's kind of floundering, but they never tried to stop you, you know.
And they just wanted us, you know, paid for me to go to college so I could work and have a steady income with, you know, good insurance and benefits, and I can retire at whatever age
Yeah.
people retire these days, 65
Right.
or 75.
Working way too fucking much for what, dude? You work for 3/4 of your fucking life,
Yeah.
dude, doing something that recent statistics said like 86% of Americans that work 3/4 of their life don't enjoy what they do. So you spend 3/4 of your one life ever, regardless of what comes next, your one life ever on this earth that we know is our reality and consciousness and everything. 3/4 of it spent, over half of it spent on something you're doing something you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? And then everyone's like, oh, but that. And we also spot, like, I don't know if this podcast is guilty of it too, but like, we do have a habit as a society of like spotlighting the artistic greats or the athletic greats.
Becoming the doctor.
Yeah,
Like
we spotlight that shit.
Yeah.
So then it makes people look at it like, oh, that's them. That's the you know, like a celebrity. Like, if someone really wanted to be an actor, I'm sure their dream is to be, you know, a Hollywood actor, big name actor or actress. But my point is, someone like us, like, we think about that, like, yeah, we could take classes and do it, but like, that's such a pipe dream. Like, it's really not. It's just, they're fucking humans too. It's like the old adage.
That's just what they wanted to do.
They put their pants on the same way that everyone else does, you know. But as a society, we highlight that as like different, and like that's like a far off thing. You'll never get there. That's for that class of people.
Yeah.
So then you have like
That's
3/4 of the country working their life away, listening to podcasts like Joe Rogan, being like, I wish I could be like Joe Rogan, but I'll just listen to him because I know I never can be.
Just do it.
Yeah, dude, just fucking do it.
Because everyone wants to live the life that they're living. They like see that and they're like, oh man, their life is so great, but they didn't love it enough of what they're doing to live that life.
Yeah.
And they don't love it enough to go through the struggles that all those people went through. I mean, was it Sylvester Stallone or whatever? It was like a homeless guy.
Yeah.
Like, and when he made Rocky or whatever and sold it to the fucking thing, it's like,
dude, it's
all right. Like, that's because he loved it so much, and like, I mean, that's like whatever all these guys are going through. It's like you love every aspect of doing that. The struggles, the like, you know, hard work, hard hours, and everything. They love it, and then in the future, you know, they work hard enough. They love every aspect of it. Then they succeed, and everyone's like, "Wow, I want to be that guy." It's like, yeah, but you don't want to do what he did to get there.
There's levels to this shit, dude. That's that's...
No one started out. I mean, and that's not true. There's like, you know, there's lots of people that their family they get brought right into it. And it's super easy for them. But there's a lot of people that they've never had.
The first time those people run into struggle, unless they were truly raised right, like righter than anyone else has figured out. But most times those people run into struggle. The first sign of it, they either by that point have people to handle their shit for them, so they just run from everything, or they fucking lose everything because they collapse. Because they never had to have. Struggle sucks, yeah, it's fucking why it's there. Pain sucks, yeah, it's why it's fucking there. Pain is a reminder to not go there again. Struggle is a fucking way to build your fucking mental toughness. It's a way to it's an incentive to be like, wow, that fucking sucked. I don't want to experience that again. So let me get out of there and then fucking keep. You guys ever fucking remember the game Icy Tower for like PC?
No.
Okay, so
you guys are a little bit older than
Icy Tower.
I guess.
Well, Icy Tower.
I'm just so old at 27.
Icy Tower. Some of the listeners might know. I don't know, but Icy Tower
sounds like someone on Fortnite right now.
It was a game on a PC that came up when we like first started getting like laptops introduced to like the classroom and shit. Like I think it was my 6th or 7th grade year we got laptops for like social studies or whatever, and everyone was like, fuck that, and then went on this little like app game website, little like flash game website deal, and played Icy Tower. Anyway, Icy Tower is this little character that just jumps up these different levels through the little slots in the fucking, you know, parallel lines that are icy, slippery slopes, and he jumps up through those and has to avoid obstacles and try to see how many levels up you can get. And just goes on forever. It's a flash game, it just goes forever. So kids would play that, and all you have to do is tap spacebar and move the arrow key.
The helicopter game.
So yeah, it's just like the helicopter game. Same website, dude. The little green helicopter where it fucking goes like this to, yep, exactly. So we fucking played that to Icy Tower. And for some reason, when I was like started really getting into the podcast and talking to more people and like broadening my horizons of my like knowledge and interest field, I was like, life is like fucking Icy Tower. It starts off kind of easy and everything's kind of there laid out for you, and you just, you know, you progress through the first fucking 20 levels or 10 levels really quick and easy. You're like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. For the most part, I mean, in comparison to what you go through on your own later in life. Then the shit starts getting harder and more shit gets thrown at you, and you're fucking, and it's slippery slope. You could easily fall off and fucking keep sliding back down to level 1 because it got too hard.
Yeah.
It's important. My point to wrap all this part up is like my point is like for people like you, Matt, and people like, you know, Brennan, who's been on the show, and D-Tron, like, you know, fucking each one of us, me, Jameson, like everybody that has, and everyone that's listening that has like their own passion or whatever it is, whether it's, you know, you might think, oh, everyone thinks that's just basic, or everyone thinks that's a pipe dream. Who cares? It's your passion, whatever it fucking is. If it's normal, if it's not, own your passion. Go after it. Because you could die tomorrow, you could die in 5 minutes, you could die in 30 seconds, you could die in fucking 30 years. And who knows, in 30 years when you're still alive, they can come out with some technology to make you live for 300 more. We don't know. But the thing is, you know, the thing is, you just don't know. So take advantage of shit and go after it. And don't fucking, you know, hold people back because you wish you could go after it and you see them doing it and you're like, well, fuck, misery loves company, get back down here with the rest of us. You think you're special? Like that type of attitude's toxic.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's helped me, I guess, kind of start my journey is used to, everyone has their friend that already has a sweet house and married with kids and is doing great, or they got, I don't want to say handed a job, but they got a great job and promoted, and they're already, for lack of better words, they're doing better than you. But so my old way of thinking is I would be like jealous and envious and be like, man, like, I'm just as good as that guy, like, why can't I do that?
Yeah.
So changing my way of thinking and to being happy for them and try to figure out how they got there is way different than just figuring out, seeing they got there and being upset about it.
Yeah.
So just changing my way of thinking of just being happy for everyone else. That's helped me out quite a bit.
It's super important, dude.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I have friends that, I work construction right now, but I'm working on being an airline pilot, and I have friends that took construction and that's what they want to do. And, they make way more money than I do because they're running with a bigger company or whatnot. They took advantage to go with it or go union or things that I'm not necessarily looking at doing. And, I see them, like you're saying, they have houses, they have brand new trucks, they've got, like, all their stuff's brand new, and I'm like, all right, like, all my money goes towards something that I want to do in the future. And it's like, yeah, it's like a couple years from now or whatever, but I know my future is going to probably be better, if not, the same, and that's where I want to go. And, like, that's the style that I want to live. But, yeah, like, I see all my friends and stuff that are, like, my age, and they just went right up the food chain, and boom, they're at a spot now where they got brand new trucks. I'm like, struggle. We're still sitting there struggling, watching kids, like, man, I mean, they had it pretty easy, like, just to get to where they're at. But then also at the same time, it's like, man, my future, if it, I put all my heart and soul into it, my future is going to be just as easy, if not easier, because that's what they might not like that anymore.
Exactly.
Like, they might just be doing that as a job. I'm going to do something that I love, and then in my life's going to be even better.
Exactly.
Yeah, spring break was last week, and I'm looking at everyone's pictures. They're, out having fun, not here, and I'm at home on the computer CADing up some new parts, and I'm just,
slaving away.
Just,
for yourself, though, because it's what you want to do.
Exactly. So I'm trying to work hard now. So I always say I want to retire when I'm like 45, and everyone just thinks that's the biggest joke on earth, but
it's not. I mean,
you could.
But even retirement might not even.
22 years, and we'll see where I'm at.
It's all mental.
22.
It's
wrong math, but
in the company that you're in, like, you might even get to a point where you're not retired, but you're running a business that you can go, and your spring break is like 6 times a year instead of once a year. And it's like, I see that all the time I got friends. And you see the people that, like, we want to become, and they're always, like, going out places, like, they're always, like, doesn't ever seem like they're working. It's because also their work is something they love to do, so it's like that's part of their fun in life.
Yeah.
And then also it's like they worked hard for what they wanted, and they also didn't go out partying on spring break. They didn't go to Watershed every summer. They didn't
security.
They didn't go to that one. They didn't go to that one party that all your friends went to on a Friday night because you had to get up and work on Saturday morning. They might have gotten up and played video games the next day, like after they got up nighttime or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like you skipped out on that party, but 15 years from now, your party might be your entire life while they're still partying on a Friday or on a Saturday, and you're partying throughout years, and it's just like a continuous, like, that's your enjoyment.
You might work half your life, and even that wouldn't be doing something you don't enjoy. Maybe fucking a small percentage when you're starting out doing a second job or a fucking primary job.
Like 3 and 4, 5
jobs. 16 jobs, even 20 jobs, whatever it is. Like, you might have that for the first little bit of your life, but that's a small fraction if you spend the rest working for yourself, honing your craft and like living out your passion. Then did you really even work at all? No, you fucking developed. You developed as a human, and that's what I think we're here to do.
Yeah, live your fullest life.
Yeah,
that's not working a job you don't like to do so that you can live the full life on one night or 2 nights. And I never want to be in a position where you got people in the future that you're going out or you want to go on a vacation or a company trip or whatever. And it's like that whole. Everyone always seems to go out on the weekend, and there's a lot of people that have to work throughout the weekends.
Yeah.
And it's like those Saturdays and Sundays are like whatever, you hear all the songs about it, like Fridays here, hell yeah.
It's Rebecca Black.
Country songs.
Yeah, but I mean, I want Friday to be every day.
Rebecca Black loves Friday, dude.
Friday. She's rich though.
She is.
She killed it.
The joke's on us.
See, props to her.
Thank
Don't
you,
get
Rebecca
mad.
Black.
Don't get
That's her
mad at
passion,
her.
dude. Singing like shit's her passion. She doesn't care.
She's not the dumb one. The person that signed that record deal is the dumb one.
Exactly.
She killed it.
Even though it's a passion for you, you gotta have. I know you have goals. I mean, you and I've kind of talked briefly about some of your goals that you want to do for your company and your you know yourself, but not from like an interview or business standpoint. Like, so Matt, what do you want to do with the next 5 years? What's your goal? No, like more like go into that, touch on that, but like this whole thing, the whole basis behind this podcast, man, is to like fucking people that listen to it. They think they're fucking weird or crazy or alone because, and not like alone like a depressed or like suicidal sense, maybe so, maybe not, but alone in the sense of like, you know, no one else is like me. I'm tired of putting on a front and being fake because people suck and nobody understands me type thing. This is for people to hear and be like, no, hey, 3 dudes chilling, like I'm a nobody. We're all kind of nobodies in the grand scheme of things. Like, yeah, I have a podcast. Guess you have a fucking, you know, fab company, and Jameson's
just
fucking
period on the
is a pilot, but
just
like
a dot on the map is
yeah,
where I'm at right now.
Exactly.
Not even.
And so yeah, like people need to know that like people from their own level, you can fucking be like this. You can start and do your own thing. It's hard, but it's fucking worth it. I just worked 3 10s and then slept a total of like maybe 16 hours, if that. And barely been eating at all, and I'm fucking doing podcasts tonight because I could easily have been like, because I don't work for anyone but myself. I easily could be like, hey, can we reschedule? No, dude, like I fucking this is my passion. You know?
Today I worked all day. I packaged up 10 orders, so I'm all 100% caught up. But yeah, for lunch I had 2 Dr. Peppers and like 6 Hershey's Kisses. Just like don't have. My girlfriend's like, "Did you eat today?" I was like, had a couple.
Depends on what your idea of eating
spoonfuls of sugar.
I had 2 Dr. Peppers and like 6 Hershey Kisses, so I'm good for now.
But yeah, man,
that's all I do.
So, with that all in mind, touch on some of your goals, like just for you personally as a person, as it relates to industry, and then like you with your company.
I just want to be able to support, you know, myself full-time with the shop, which would include, you know, being able to pay for a house mortgage and shop space, and, you know, I don't have car payment because everything I drive is got 400,000 miles on it.
Suzuki.
So just, you know, being able to support myself, and, you know, I have to have insurance, you know, according to the government, and I have to, you know, have car insurance and home insurance, so just being able to
afford all that stuff. Live a comfortable life.
Exactly. Be able to, you know, do smoky burnouts and not cry about gonna go, you know, buy 2 sets of tires or just little things.
What are your goals for the company itself? Like, where do you want to get more, like, hopefully, like, into the automotive side? Like, do you plan on like getting contracts like with Boeing, so to speak, like in the future?
I guess. I mean, I'll take anything. I just feel like I'm so diverse where I can, you know, I can build car suspension, or I can, you know, weld up I weld up a bunch of posts for steel stud construction and pony wall stuff. So, you know, I can make signage. I've done a few signs. I'm working on a few signs. So I'm so diverse. I just kind of hope to take off in whatever direction allows me to take off. You gotta be somewhat fluid. Mm-hmm. Keep yourself busy.
Yeah, you can't really necessarily pick. You can't be too picky about where you want it to go. But like, if you had like the option, like you know, say in the future, like you know, like it's you took like say signs like just blew up. Yeah. And you like made so much money on signs that you were able to like, you know, keep that going and do your own shop again with enough fundage to go a route that you want to go. What route would that?
I guess I would have my own. I've kind of started that already, but having my own line of car parts. Mm-hmm. You know, for lack of a better word, universal, but, you know, not, you know, some vehicle specific stuff, but ideally you could call me up and I could outfit your, you know, car with a bunch of sweet parts that fit twice as good as the junk that's already out there. That was the whole
It's like basically like custom parts. Like so, like someone would call you up and be like, I want a racing suspension for my Mini Cooper, and it's like you don't know, like like say I called or whatever, I need a racing suspension for my car.
Got the tubing.
Yep, yeah. I would never know at all like what parts I need, like what parts are gonna make it better, what part, and then you being able be like, okay, yeah, I'll build you this, and like then it'll go on. Like I know what you're talking about. Not like, cause I could see I have a struggle. Like if there was somewhere I could go where I'm like, hey, I want my car to handle better. I don't know how to do it. It's like, hey, I'll build you stuff instead of like, or having like,
that's a huge draw right there. Or made in house.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like made. Yeah, you bring the car.
Yeah. Hey, go here. I'll set you up. You pay us, and you take it there, and then you got to pay him. I think a small service fee. Maybe not. We'll see for you.
Or order this part from China, and it might take 2 weeks, and
and break in 2 weeks.
Yeah, this part comes from Russia or Germany, and it's got to be this many weeks. It's like no, it's all in house. Like
so it separates me, I guess, from. I don't know what you think of what's a popular company you can go to and order stuff.
I just type on Google I just type in what part I need and like go through the first 2 pages, 3 pages until I find it. Like whatever's cheap and I think is gonna work.
So what separates me is I not only do I design it, I cut it out, I test it to make sure it works, and I build it in my own builds. I use it myself. So
plus it's made in the U.S., so
I
use
American steel. Shout out to American Steel Corporation.
Nice.
Even though you don't give me a price break.
Hey, maybe one day we'll get price breaks.
Maybe now they will.
Yeah.
But I understand what the consumer needs, and I understand what the the guy in the shop welding it up needs. So that's what helps me out. Is I kind of I got the candle burning at both ends in a good way. I know what appeals to the buyers, and I know what appeals to the builders. So that's how I design my stuff. Is
what you kind of have an idea of what they're looking for. And
what kind of tipped it over the edge is I was building. I have this '55 Dodge that I was building, and I was trying to find parts for it. No one made parts. It was some rare vehicle, it was a 1-ton. No one makes anything for it. So I was piecing stuff together. I got a Dodge frame with Ford geometry suspension with Chevy parts. So it's a complete mess.
Frankencar.
Yeah.
So I bought these A-arms from a company that I'll gladly call out, called like Johnny Law Motors. And I got these parts.
Local?
I think they're in Portland.
Oh, okay.
But they import all their stuff from China. It's all straight junk. Garbage. So I ordered this up, saved my money, bought some tubular A-arms for these airbags. I got them. They showed up at my house. They weren't. First of all, the kit wasn't even complete. It was like literally 3 weeks to get them because they were back ordered from China. Whatever. They finally made it right. It literally took 5 weeks to get my parts, and luckily I wasn't in a hurry because the truck's still not even close to being done. But I got these parts. They showed up. Believe it or not, they did not fit what they specified they were supposed to fit.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I'll even just throw a quick reason why. So it was supposed to be 3/4 ton. It was supposed to fit a 3/4 ton ball joint, and it did not. It only fit half-ton ball joint. So it was listed wrong, the wrong product, wrong everything. And then what really set me over the edge was it was supposed to be TIG welded, and I cut my finger on a piece, and it was a piece of stick from a MIG weld. So I literally threw out the parts and started figuring out what I can do to start making my own parts.
And real quick, explain TIG and the difference between TIG and MIG welding for people that are. If you can, the best way.
So like a tubular A-arm, you TIG weld it because it's a stronger weld. It's just, for lack of better words, you get just more penetration and a cleaner weld and a tighter fit. So it's just more of a structural weld.
So TIG is more like the structural weld than
MIG.
If you're good at welding, that's how to TIG. And MIG welder is basically, what is it they call the hot metal glue gun?
Sort of.
Yeah.
It just shoots out hot metal.
Yeah, you can make
quick fix or a quick put together.
Yeah, you can make both look really good. MIG welding is just as strong, but TIG is, you have a lot more control. You control the amperage by essentially pressing the gas pedal. So the harder you press it, the more amps and the more penetration you get in your weld.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so then you went from that till you were like, okay, I'll make my own car parts.
As soon as I was like, man, I'm sick of buying this.
Shit.
I have all these visions in my head of what I, in a perfect world, would like to buy, but no one makes them.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to put out there what, I envision of other people like me would, like to buy. So yes, I went from, hobbyist builder to trying to make it a career.
Fuck yeah. That's fucking sweet, dude. Honing in on that passion.
Yeah.
And people like that do that, hone in on their passions and stuff, I feel like are more compassionate people and empathetic people, whether they realize it or not. Because like you just said, you fucking, I wanna start this my custom, auto parts company because I'm tired of not being a need for, or not being a market for that need out there, and then being like, well, I know other people, need that.
Yeah, exactly. I see the same thing.
Yeah,
it's
like, I want to do this because I need to make all this money, and I'm gonna, it's all for me. It's like you do it because it's like, I'm good at this. I enjoy this. There's a need for it. I really want this shit because I need it. And hey, spread the wealth. And that's the key. Is like spreading the fucking wealth.
Yeah. Let's just say I'm not rich yet.
No. Yeah. Well, you are in a sense. I mean, everyone's rich is.
But the stuff you're saying though is like every time I'm looking for a car part, it's like the stuff you're saying though is like it's like wow, that's what I need. Like I don't need a website that asks me a random part number, or if it's OEM, or if it's like I'm like I don't fucking know. I want this part.
On a donut while fat fingering it at the fucking warehouse.
I don't know what it is. I want the part that goes from like this piece of the car to this piece of car, and I want that part. It's like I don't know exactly what it is, and then they start pulling up numbers or like websites got the drawings on there, and it's like I think that's the right part, and it's like like you're saying, like you order the part and then you get something and it's like half of it or it's the wrong, and then I go to put it on, I'm like you obviously know way more, but say I got that part for a $1,500 instead of a $3,500, I'd sit there going, okay, it doesn't fit, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, what do I need to do differently? Like, what do I have to figure that part out? And it's like, man, if there was a place, like that's like you're exactly explaining.
Well, I tried to buy bigger ball joints, but of course the 3/4 ton ball joints don't fit in the half-ton ball joint sockets. So I was like, I'm just gonna make my own A-arms, and then said, screw it.
That's fucking cool.
So I saved up. I bought a big TIG welder. I saved up. Bought some MIG welders. Saved up. Bought a plasma table. My parents helped me out a little bit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Just took a little bit of a loan. Saved up some cash. Sold all my cool vehicles. Now I
had to do the struggle. So I guess going off of that. What would you recommend to someone that wants to start their own company? I mean, you're talking about basically all the struggles right there that you had to go through, like how, like basically your process of starting it. For someone that wants to start it, could be fabrication, it could be a podcast, it could be anything. Like
first, you got to figure out, I guess, do you really want to do it, and then after that, if you want to really do it, then you got to figure out what you got to sacrifice to get there. And for me, I sold my cool air ride truck, and I sold my truck that used to start every day and get me to work for something a little older and a little slower and a little louder. And then I, you just keep sacrificing. I haven't profited off of this. Pretty much every dollar I make, I buy more tools, I buy more materials, I, pay off my car. I just try to keep it going.
It's basically how bad do you want this?
Exactly.
Are you ready to literally put like everything aside, like you're saying, like how we talked earlier about? Are you willing to set aside hanging out with friends, partying on spring break, going out on the boat on a hot summer?
I sold my boat.
Taking 2 days off of work when you can't take any time off work. Like basically, it's like, are you ready to give your life to the? Or give it your all, everything you have, and that's not like you can't think about it like, oh, I'll give it my all, and I'll sometimes I can fudge in time. It's like, no, like you got to realize like every inch of time you have is going towards that, and like making it but you have to have that goal, and it's like I guess understanding the facts, like do you want it bad enough? Like I mean, everyone says that it's like if you want something bad enough you'll succeed, but what does that really take? And obviously now
like you've gone through it. I've sold all my reliable driving equipment. Everything I buy is
all your luxuries of life. Everything that makes your life a little bit easier, a little bit better, things you rely on that aren't necessarily.
You come to realize it's not something you actually need to get through life. You're like, oh, I don't need this shit. I need to do this because this keeps me going. My passion, my craft. The best way I could think to put it into words, I just thought of we were all going over, like pretty much our own takes of what it means to get through struggle at any cost to overcome something for the, to better your life or to further your success or whatever it is, hone your craft, anything like that. If you were drowning or suffocating, you would fight for your life to breathe, right?
I would hope.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd hope like 98% of the people out there probably would fight for their life to breathe. You'd do anything you could to breathe. When it comes, I mean, you breathe every day just fine for the most part, so you take it kind of for granted, just like we take living for granted. But we start going through the motions, just like you do with breathing, in, out, in, out, in, out. You can do it while you walk, you can do it while you drive, you can do it while you talk. It's fucking easy. But once it's taken from you or attempted to be taken from you, you fight for your life to keep it because you want to breathe. Well, that's what this is. Your passion. You fucking realize, okay, my passion is breathing. Not literally, but like you're equating it to breathing, and you'll fight for it. You'll fight for that passion. Anything that gets thrown your way is like a pillow over the face or a fucking head dunked in the water. Fucking fight like hell. That shit'll end. It'll pass, and then boom. Next thing you know, you'll fucking be at fucking 1, 5, 10, 20 levels of fucking head from where you were. Not anywhere near the finish line. Don't fucking get it twisted because there's a lot of levels to this shit. But you'll be that much closer and that much better and that much stronger mentally and physically and emotionally through it. And you'll see all the fruits of your labor then. People are like, oh, but I put in this many hours at work. I still haven't gotten that raise. Man, it's not about that. That's tangible fucking putting in, planting seeds to get fruit as a payoff. That's tangible. It doesn't always pan out because what I'm talking about is like spiritual or like, something to do with the universe in a sense. Like you put in that fucking work in that regard, the true struggle work, and it fucking pans out for you. And I mean, you can attest to that, I'm sure, dude. Like as like a mental thing even. It just builds you as a human.
Yeah, whatever dollar doesn't go to rent or food or
something you actually need to have
my dog and insurance and just keeping the lights on, so to say. I just try to sadly just reinvest it back into myself and
it's
not sadly but happily.
Yeah, and are you ready to work like an 8-hour day, 7 to 3 or 9 to 5 or whatever, your typical 8-hour day? Okay, let's say you get off at 3 o'clock. Are you ready to go to bed at 10?
Yeah.
Till 10 o'clock. Are you ready for those 7 hours in between? What are you doing with this? Typical person's like, hey, I'm off work. I just worked 8 hours.
Around,
I'm gonna dick around. I'm gonna hit the gym, play some video games. I'm gonna work on maybe take care of some house stuff. It's like no. It's like okay, those 7 hours. It's like. Are you ready? Are you ready to continue your day?
Yep, I call it second shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you think you need to go to the gym, just I loaded 3 sheets by myself that range from like 240 pounds to 180 pounds.
Yep.
Loaded them by
There's
myself
your gym right there
on a table.
Yeah, it's like, and are you like, even if you gotta, then you gotta start thinking, okay, what is maybe you do need a mental wind down for an hour. So, but are you gonna go home from work? Yeah, are you gonna go home from work, take a shower, then hit the gym, and then fucking come back home, shower again or whatever, and then go to work? Or are you gonna make it a priority to, okay, I can skip like at least an hour and a half in there, and I can go from work to gym to cool off, take an hour of blow off time and then hit the second job right after. Exactly, yeah. Fucking blow some steam off, unload some weight, fucking feed the ducks,
Gotta prep for second shift.
Yeah, write some literature. 68 at the ballpark, you're a fucking animal. But it's just whatever you want to do. But you got to find out in the meantime, what exactly are you gonna? You have to cut out those little things that are in between that are nice. Are you gonna go home and cook dinner? It's like
no.
It's like
6 Hershey Kisses and 2 Dr. Peppers.
Say, dude, 6 Hershey's Kisses.
Yeah, and then it's about your surroundings too.
And I gave up energy drinks too because I was drinking them too much.
Yeah, you find
I get heartburn, dude. So even working third shift,
start taking the trash out, and all you hear is cans. I swear I'm not drinking alcohol, and it's like, oh shit, that's how I kept going.
I have to drink. I have to space it out when I work. I do I'll maybe drink an energy drink, like a low sugar energy drink when I get there, and then probably
low sugar, aspartame or whatever.
No, fucking probably all chemical ass shit. I'll fucking wait until like 5, maybe 5:30, and I'll make a cup of coffee, like very strong, like big cup of coffee. So I like try to go the whole time without anything till like the start, and then kind of towards the end, so I can at least get home without crashing.
Yeah. Luckily at my current job, we're doing this big office improvement for Delano's coffee roasters, so I get fueled all day long.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So I keep my little thermos filled, so I'll be drinking coffee on my way home at 3 o'clock, and then I'm ready to, do what I do, I guess.
Shout out to Delano's, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking local. That'd be cool to get them on here. Not even as a sponsor, just to talk, because they fucking made it fucking big.
Yeah, I mean, but even...
Worldwide, or is it country, just nationwide? Either way, it's fucking huge.
Yeah, it's big.
Beans.
Yeah, true, yeah.
But I mean, yes, we're still even getting into luxuries almost of, picking what energy drink you want to drink. I mean, there's like, you're trying to start a company, there's like times where you hear all the college kids that have like the college meals, and it's like, that's basically the same thing. It's like, yeah, it's like you might want to be healthy and try to like, balance yourself out, but we've got, we've got a buddy who's started his own company. I've seen him take a shot of some pre-workout and chug a Red Bull, and so he could stay up for another 12 hours.
And then he dropped dead.
Yeah, he dropped
dead. But the Red Bull brought him back to life.
For like 2 days straight. He was asleep. Like, we'd go check on him, make sure he was alive, but he slept for like 2 days straight. But it was like, okay, but he had a deadline. He had
down from a meth overdose.
Yeah, but he had a deadline that he had to meet, and he wanted it bad enough that he was like, he literally put himself aside. His like comfort of being like, like us, like I have a bad energy drink, and I'm like,
fuck my life.
Yeah, basically, but.
But we've all been there, like,
it was worth it.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, or, like you're drunk as fuck, and you're like, man, I want Taco Bell. And you're even drunk, and you're like, man, I know this is going to suck in about 5 minutes, or when I wake up in the morning.
This is not what really happened with any of us sitting here.
No, but I'm just...
drunken and
I don't know, man. I've had bad Taco Bell experiences. I'm just saying, like, there's those nights where you choose Taco Bell over your own, like, just for satisfaction.
This is why Uber needs to come to Buckley, you motherfuckers, you stingy bitches.
Yeah, but it's just, are you willing to sacrifice, like, the simple things in life, or the comfortable things in life, like your comfort of even getting sleep? Like, are you willing to even sacrifice that if you have a deadline that's going to make your company better, or if your company's going to profit from you getting an hour of sleep that night?
That's what it's all about, man. You got to fucking put yourself through the discomfort, because if you don't, you're never going to know what it feels like to be uncomfortable, which will happen inevitably. And then you're like, oh shit, I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to run and change paths and go over here and, maybe
sucks.
change jobs or move or fucking whatever, because you think that's the natural response, is like, your fight or flight kicks in your subconscious too, and you choose to take off in flight and run because it's hard. Well, if you learn how to get through those hard times, you literally will come to the next hard time, even though it might be harder than the previous one. And you're like, oh, I got this. Like when I moved back to Michigan, I drove back, and I've told this story before on the podcast, I'm sure, but like I drove back with my Tacoma and my buddy from college in Michigan, took a one-way flight out here off the super ghetto Spirit Airlines, where they send all the graffiti planes. That's what the fucking Tony Hinchcliffe or Ari said the other night on Joe Rogan's podcast. It's funny as shit. It's so true. Spirit sucks. Sorry, don't be a sponsor. But he flew out with a one-way ticket, and me and him and my Tacoma and my dog, we drove back, and he's like, dude, do you want me to drive? Like every 200 miles. He's like, I can drive. And I was like, no, I got this. I just treat it like a challenge, man, because I drove 56 hours total, and like 53 of those were consecutive, or 52 and a half were consecutive, and then I finally like saw shit running across the road that wasn't there.
The invisible dog.
Yeah, dude, the invisible dog, the rabbits were just fucking running everywhere.
Dog.
And dude, I
stopped driving.
I pulled off, and my buddy took the wheel, or whatever, like Jesus, and and we got there. But I know now if I have to drive for 50 hours plus, I can. Like I did it. Same reason I ran a fucking marathon. I mean, not the only reason, but part of the reason why I decided to run a marathon on a whim when I first moved out here to Washington, like in 2013. Because I fucking used to be a runner, yeah, but I also was like, fuck it, I want to see if I can do it. And I did it with a rucksack on, just because it was like 55 pounds, because I didn't know that could be really detrimental and bad for you, so I just tried to be a hard-ass, young fucking green army guy. Threw the fucking rucksack on, and I ended up ruck march pace, walking every other mile, and then the miles I didn't walk, I was running to my best ability. I just wanted to finish under 6 hours, and I got 5 hours and 57 minutes or some shit like that. And ran across the finish line. Yeah, dude, ran across the finish line. It did, dude.
Should have done better.
I know, oh man. But now I know if I have to do that, I can. I put myself through those physical discomforts and so when the mental discomforts come, I know, okay, I can tackle that. And, you know, it's all about that. I think we can all attest to that shit.
Yeah, my girlfriend always says I need to relax a little bit. So she's like, take a nap. I was like, I can't nap. So,
Yeah, dude.
So we're like laying there, and I think I'm relaxing, and she like kind of wakes up and looks at me, and she's like, you need to close your eyes to relax.
We're gonna finish out on a part 2.
Say what?
We're gonna finish out on a part 2.